This is really easy, and you should have all the chemicals you need around the house. Now, I want to start off by saying, if you're ever taking DIY chemical advice here and anything like this, don't do it. Okay? Do not do it. Do not just listen to what someone says on the internet, and do the actual process. Especially when it could involve seriously fucking wild chemical mixtures. Okay? You'll need around 5 to 15 and a straw. Times are different, dude. We had a lot of pennies sitting around. Put these aside after.
Greedy dummy.
Clear jar and scoop 2 tablespoons and 1 tablespoon of something into it. I might blur this out just so I'm not giving actual information.
10's 2K.
What's going on here? Now, the most important ingredient is blah, blah, blah. You might find it in most bathroom cleaning supplies. And pour into a jar until it's about, something full. The last ingredient is blah, blah, blah. Fill the rest of the jar, but watch out for your clothes. Now drop these coins into the bottom and quickly grab the straw and start blowing bubbles into the coins. You should see what appears to be this crystal growth. And that's it. So apparently there's supposed to be this pinkish color that comes from, again, some chemical in here and the CO2 in your breath. Blowing until you feel dizzy isn't recommended, but it increases. So again, this, ladies and gentlemen, is pretty bad. And why is it pretty bad? Well, let me actually explain the science behind this. When you mix things like chlorine gas and whatever chloramine gas, what happens is if you smell or if you inhale what the byproducts come out to be, you are basically causing severe respiratory damage to yourself, chemical burns, and the very, very real possibility of death, okay? So again, this is why I always say, whenever you're reading things on the internet like this, don't actually attempt them. And again, this was like an example of the shit you would find on places like B. People would post it, and again, it would lead to some pretty serious consequences. One of those serious consequences, and I don't know the reality of this, but 10 years ago on r/legal advice, by one user, Lars42, ends up going, my son accidentally hurt themselves. Well, they lost their lives because of 4chan. So about 1 month ago, my 11-year-old son accidentally had died when he followed instructions he saw online on a website called 4chan. Someone had posted detailed instructions on how to make what he believed to be crystals that turned out to be poison. Is there any legal action I can take against the person who ruined my life and devastated my family? Now, this is a really, really dark turn, and the thing about it is I don't, unfortunately, in their case, I don't really think that they really had a lot of legal options to chase, right? Because generally, anonymous users on platforms like image boards typically will hide behind identities, and usually tracing them is almost a near impossibility.
You are joking me.
If you're good with your, I guess you could say, OPSEC, you'll probably never be tracked down. And the thing about it is, obviously, I grieve for, this person as well, too, because obviously if you lose anybody in the process, even regardless of age, to something like this, especially somebody that's 11 who probably looked at something on 4chan and was like, this could probably be harmless. That post probably should have been taken down, but to give you an idea, this is how things kind of escalated on this website. Yeah, it's kind of crazy, when you look at a lot of the people talking over here, it's always treated as like a joke here. It's like, I tried this and I died. I'm posting this from hell. If anyone is interested, hell is a permanent state.
Astrados! Come on!
4chan with some crazy chemical concoctions, and it started to actually use them on their market. One of the other things that I actually ended up seeing that completely shocked me at the time too was this one post. 37 decides where this is injected. No limits. Now, if you're looking at that, actual syringe, you can start to see that there's a real glowy substance inside of it. Now, immediately I'm wondering to myself, what could that glowy substance be? And immediately I think of those glow sticks, right? When you buy them from the store, you break them in half, and the chemicals inside them combine to create something that's luminescent. Take a syringe, you dip it out, and boom, that's what you have.
Why didn't he leave?
So obviously, the individual asking him where they want to stick it in goes wrist, eventually. That is, I believe, post number 37. So eventually, the actual user here showcases a syringe going towards their hand and being put right in, showcasing that the luminescent material may actually be making their veins glow. So if you correlated this to the plasmids from Bioshock, no one would be surprised, okay? It would be like the E-pipe.
That's red?
But you don't get magical powers in reality land, okay? The possibility of dying may in fact be pretty hard. So in fact, a few of the actual people talking about this stuff had literally started to mention it's like the byproducts of glow sticks are known to cause potentially fatal heart problems if injected. Yes. Isn't that really dangerous? I mean, I would imagine injecting anything that you don't entirely trust into your veins to be a pretty stupid decision, right? But of course, I ended up looking up the glow sticks health risk assessment. And this is from June 2022, so like a quick understanding of it, just a quick primer, just a summary, is that glow sticks contain chemicals such as hydrogen peroxide, dyes, alkyl solvents, and phenyl oxalate esters. If you think that I can translate this into something, no. I'm an engineer, not a medic. Glow sticks are used seasonally during festivals. We know. Accidental or intentional incidents reported after exposure to liquid and glow sticks resulted in asymptomatic and mild effects or no reports of serious adverse events of incidents requiring hospital admission were found. There were no cases of severe systemic toxicity reported. Following exposure, mild irritation was reported at the exposure site. And again, what they're talking about are primarily people that I guess might be getting it on their skin. I don't think this ever accounted for people stupid enough to actually put it in a syringe and inject it into their bodies. That, ladies and gentlemen, is a stupid decision, and I would highly recommend against it. But yeah, it's just one of those things, par for the course, those creepy threads that you would find on 4chan. Not really creepy, but you would find that to be just natural selection at play. Now, had anybody followed up on this and wonder what happened to the neon blue syringe guy? Nobody really had any idea. Like, nobody knew where it came out to. Somebody probably said he maybe became Dr. Manhattan. He's a famous superhero. The guy is killed. To be honest, I have no real idea where this person is, and I don't think anybody does know. But the reality is, if you're stupid enough to make decisions like that, if it's actually real, he's probably done something even stupider since uploading that post. Now, for a lot of people who go onto like 4chan, like they'll probably go to like B or like Hole or like they'll have a specific board. But for me personally, one of my favorite boards was obviously X, which is where I think my love for creepy internet mysteries and creepypastas and a lot of this stuff really did come out from, right? It was just like the part of the internet that is just a little bit detached from the mainstream, where a lot of weird stories basically, came out from. And obviously, you go to a platform like this and you'll come across things like, hey guys, here, you want to post some spooky stories that scared you? Things about the Paris catacombs, for instance? I mean, sometimes you find ghost videos like this, boys. The haunted shopping cart. Can someone explain this? Hold on, I gotta see this video. There's like a shopping cart just minding its. Oh my God, it's turning around. Whoa, buddy. It's just going into traffic. You know, this is why I just don't park near actual, like, this is why I don't park near shopping carts. Like, goddamn, they do some crazy shit. I mean, that guy you're joking. Now, can we explain the paranormal effect there? I honestly wouldn't know. So I'm gonna let X in on a secret. There are societies all over the world that people that fight with angels, but I am angry about something. These societies have no idea that angels copying human psychology is the reason they attack us. There seems to be some leaps of logic in this that I'm not following. Talk to your doctor about something called schizophrenia.
No, what is that,
like
mate?
Checks and balances on the site too. Jesus Christ. Now inside that board, there were some really cool threads that I talked about in videos in the past too. Threads like Alex from Tennessee. For anybody that doesn't remember this thread in particular, one user comes by and posts, "By this rubble, your prize awaits, Tennessee, a slur. Park nearby and walk to this point in secret. It's under plastic at this moment. Good luck." And of course, in before dead body. I swear to God, if it's a dragon dildo. I shall bump this many times. Now this thread became incredibly infamous when one user decided, you know what, actually, I'm going to go to the coordinates that are listed. And those coordinates were listed in what appears to be East Tennessee. So this derelict-ass yard that you're seeing was a place that one user decided to go. Now in a normal
quit, boys, already.
You would look at that and say, no, I'm not. Because that's where I'm going to get stabbed, okay? That's where some
not a full game
is going to encounter me and send me to the Shadow Realm. But of course,
doing?
One user, Alex, decided, no,
full game.
I'm going to claim that prize. So we were all just kind of laughing over here, wondering, okay, maybe nothing's going to come out.